Brock had an affair while you were pregnant with Summer. Why was it something you did want to share in the book?
I could have taken it to the grave, but I felt like that would be being extremely inauthentic in putting out a memoir of my life, and this is one of the most challenging things I've ever gone through. And it wasn't an easy decision. We went back and forth for months, draft after draft. At the end of the day, Brock and I sat down together and we just said, this book is not gonna feel complete. A literal chapter of my life.
So, Scheana's husband cheated on her while she was pregnant. And back then, he didn't even look guilty. No signs, no slip-ups, nothing that would have made anyone suspicious. But now, he's finally coming forward, taking accountability and even apologizing for what he did. And let me tell you, it stirred up a storm. Fans are torn. Some say at least he's owning up. Others feel like the apology is way too little, way too late. Either way, the drama is only heating up. And we've got all the messy details coming your way. So here's what went down. Brock Davies is finally stepping up and taking accountability. Weeks after Scheana Shay shocked everyone by revealing he cheated on her while she was pregnant. On her Friday episode of Scheananigans, Scheana opened up about why she included this painful part of her life in her memoir, My Good Side. She said it would have been a total disservice to her readers if she left out something so huge. And after a lot of deep conversations between the two, Brock actually stood by her choice to share it all. Not only that, he straight up apologized for his actions. Yep, Brock admitted his mistakes and is now owning up to it publicly. When Scheana asked him what actually ended the affair, which, by the way, happened while they were living in San Diego during the pandemic, Brock didn't hold back. He admitted he tried to downplay it at first, saying, "It was a sexual affair. There was no dating, no courting. It was just purely that, meet up, and then we had sex. And it happened multiple times over a 3-week span." He went on to explain that at some point he told himself, "This is not okay. I'm not doing this," and cut it off. But instead of dealing with it, he says he just shoved it away in his mind, calling it a skill he'd unfortunately developed over the years. Basically, he compartmentalized it and moved on like nothing happened. Brock never mentioned the woman's name, but he didn't shy away from calling himself out. He said he was a coward for what he did. After staying silent for nearly 2 years, he finally came clean to Scheana about the cheating, showing just how much he regrets it all.
I was an absolute coward. That man was a coward, and he wasn't thinking about protecting you. He was just thinking about protecting himself, saving his face. You know, going back to what I was doing, I would just minimize my actions and compartmentalize it, put it in a box. But in this situation, I wrote it in a letter and then tried to forget about it. And I believe that I was never going to do it again and we could just move past this. And I was just saving face, I think.
In her book, Scheana shared just how shocking that moment was. She wrote, "My whole body froze and I remained in a state of paralyzed shock as he confessed that he'd cheated on me 2 years prior when we were living in San Diego during the COVID-19 pandemic while I was pregnant with Summer." She went on to say she felt completely sick to her stomach as Brock admitted that back then he was terrified about becoming a dad again. He even questioned if he deserved to be a father, and instead of facing those fears, he dealt with it by sleeping with someone else. Scheana also opened up about why she didn't bring this drama onto Pump Rules. She was still processing everything herself behind the scenes and wanted to protect their daughter from the fallout.
Words can only mean so much after a betrayal like this, but you have truly showed me through your actions that you were committed to us and committed to changing, you know, that person who you were for so long. I also felt like I didn't want our relationship solely defined by this transgression from years prior. You know, for that to outweigh all of the positive moments that had happened since then, the life we had built together.
Plus, at that time, Ariana Maddox's cheating scandal was blowing up everywhere, and Scheana didn't want her situation to overshadow what Ariana was going through.
And just because, you know, there is infidelity, it doesn't always mean the relationship has to end. For some, absolutely, Ariana, get out, walk away.
Right.
But for me, I'm like, this guy challenges me in ways I've never been challenged. He supports me in ways I've never been supported. I don't want to throw our life away because you made a bad decision a few times when you were feeling really insecure and unworthy of being a dad again. He didn't think he deserved a second chance.
And then, while chatting with Us Weekly for an exclusive cover story, Scheana admitted there were moments when she wasn't sure about going public with Brock's affair. She said, "But I'd rather it come out in my words because, unfortunately, there was another person involved in this situation, and at any point in time, she could come forward. And honestly, that makes sense. Better to control the narrative than let rumors spiral." Scheana also got real about how she would have handled things if the timing was different. She said, "Had there been no kid, or honestly, had I found out when he did it, 100% without a doubt, I would have left. I've always been a person who said, if I'm ever cheated on, I would leave."
Gone through what I've overcome, what I've been able to forgive, that took a lot of strength that I didn't know I was capable of. But I will do anything for my daughter. And if that means forgiving my husband for something he did years prior and keeping our family together, I was like, let me see if I can do it. I don't know if I can. I always said if I'm ever cheated on, I'm out, I'm done, walking away. And then it happened, and it's not so black and white. So I really had to look at our life together, and I'm like, since you did this, I believe he's never done it again. I believe he never will do it again.
So yeah, this wasn't an easy choice for her at all. Brock admitted on Shenanigans that it took him a long time to finally confess because, in his words, he was just protecting himself. But then it hit him. If he truly wanted a healthy relationship with Scheana, one that's built on complete honesty, he had no choice but to come clean. He admitted that being married to someone like Scheana, who lives her life in front of cameras, has completely changed the way he looks at himself. He said it's kept him held accountable for every mistake he's made. He even pointed out that this pressure has actually been good for him. In his words, if anything, it's probably made me a better version of myself because it's really forced me to hold myself to that standard of being a better person. And he didn't stop there. Davies added that without this accountability, he'd probably still be doing the same stupid things, blaming other people for the same reasons why I'm in that situation every day. Through therapy, he's dug deep into why he cheated. He made it clear this isn't an excuse, it's context. He grew up with a lot of instability, moving through 15 different schools, and that shaped him. It pushed him to become hyper-focused on success, and, as he bluntly puts it, turned him into an egomaniac. Brock straight up admitted, "I detach from a lot of my emotions easily. I minimize a lot of my destructive qualities and my actions." He said this habit of shutting things out might have protected him before, but it did not serve him well as a dad or a husband. And honestly, he knows he's lucky Scheana decided to stay. Because of that, he says he's taken full accountability and is actually making changes to be better. "I know what I was, I know what I did, and I know what I could have lost," he shared. "That's what helps me focus on my family more. At the end of the day, what I've done doesn't define who I'm going to become." Brock also backed Scheana for opening up about everything in her memoir. He said she has every right to tell her story the way she wants. And to top it off, he told her, "I'm proud of you for telling your story, and I'm sorry for this being a part of your story."
For everybody else out there, you got to back off, to be honest. If all we need to do is look in a mirror, okay? I'm a hypocrite. People are hypocrites sometimes. And I will fight for my wife till the end of the day. And so if anyone has a problem with this affair, they shouldn't be coming and attacking her. They should be coming to me. I grew up not in front of cameras for 12 years and I made this many f***ups. I could only imagine what it's like for you and your friends to have to do that on a national platform. And you're my world, honey, and I've got your back.
It's messy, it's emotional, but it's clear he's trying to own up to his past and rewrite what comes next. And of course, the public isn't holding back on this one. The comments online are just pouring in, and they're spicy. One person straight up said, "This screams PR. Calculated move on both his and Scheana's part. You tell the world he cheated on you while pregnant before you release a book? There's no way you're going to leave him. So now the damage control starts so the entire world doesn't hate her husband." Another fan wasn't buying it either, writing, "Weeks later and now he's owning up? Little late for the hero speech, man." And then there's this one that hits hard. Man waited weeks to say sorry after cheating while she was pregnant? Accountability, hitting way too late. Who else thinks she deserves way better than that? After that podcast episode went live, Brock didn't just stop there. He hopped on Instagram Friday to open up even more about everything. In his post, he admitted that he and Scheana have been privately doing the hard work of rebuilding their relationship. relationship, which honestly sounds like a huge step for them. He wrote, "This moment is about publicly owning and taking accountability for my failures. Just to be clear, I am not going anywhere." Pretty bold, right? Along with that caption, he shared a heartfelt letter to Scheana, pouring his heart out. And to wrap it all up, he added, "I will continue to put the effort and time into being the best version of myself and the man our family deserves." So yeah, messy drama for sure, but you can tell he's trying to fix what he broke. Now the big question is, do you think he's truly owning up to his mistakes, or is there more to this story than what we're hearing? Drop your thoughts in the comments because we want to know what you think. And don't go anywhere, because this drama is far from over, and you already know we'll be here spilling every update as it happens. Stay tuned.